Yeah, my story is interesting, Steve. I came out of college as a journalist. I worked as a journalist for a number of years. I was fortunate enough to come to Silicon Valley the month Netscape went public. If you remember, that was the original browser for consumer use. Everything began to change. And I was fortunate enough that I could take my writing skills and move it into marketing. So over the course of years, as called a Silicon Valley immigrant, with a lot of all the thoughts and the processing of what was happening at accelerated pace, which of course today is at lightning speed, I found myself very much focused on brand, very much focused on storytelling. And that connects back to part of the personal story. And to complete the hook on that, I'm an athlete. I always have been. I swam in college. I swam afterwards as a marathon swimmer. There's a professional circuit of marathon swimmers, and you can normally finish in the top 30 or top 50 because there's only 30 or 50 people doing it. But it gave me this really strong sense of myself, my body, of pursuing goals that were pretty singular. And I was never at the top. I finished in the top 10 in the mid 90s in the world championships for, I think it was 25K. So I was good. I wasn't outstanding. And as an athlete, I got a surprise shock. I got a lung cancer diagnosis, and obviously it was a treatable form. And there's many people who don't get to stand here and talk about this because they have diagnoses that are very different than mine. I took care of mine by having a very aggressive surgery, removed half my lung, removed area around that. What I had was called a carcinoid. And then I went through a multi-year period of asking myself two questions. Am I going to get better? And if I get better, what do I want my life to look like? That's formed a lot of my thought process. It happened when I had young kids. A lot of us can relate to this. It happened when all the world was right in front of me. I had come off of being the lead public relations guy for Netflix as we went through the IPO, and everything was in front of me. And then I got this big shock that shaped everything that I have done since then.